everyone.
Uh, Hi guys. So first, let's review out what we discussed over last week when we connected out, and then we will take the next steps from there. Okay. So we started out with the OpenAI models. We understood which are the GPT models or the OpenAI models that are available in the market, and how to do the comparison of those models. Then we understood that OpenAI model is behind the Microsoft and the Azure Microsoft Cloud environment. We also understood what are the advantages and how to set up the GPT account. And then the couple of things that we covered in that class was prompts, how to create out the prompts, and how to create out the chat assistants. So, any of you tried out to create any chat assistant or any of those stuffs out? Khushbu Sai.
Arijit, I have tried using ChatGPT for one of our projects and given prompts to build that project itself, Excel-based project. So I
Okay.
have done that, but not assistant, but I have gone through all the stuff that I can understand completely. Uh,
Okay.
Shared with us in the last lecture.
Perfect. Can you just show one of those what you tried out?
Um, Actually, this I am not able to show because that I have tried in my company's platform.
Oh, okay.
But
No worries at all.
simply, what I have given that one Excel-based activity is given to me. So that Excel-based activity, I have tried to automate the stuff with the ChatGPT, like script with the ChatGPT, and it turned out very well, and I have used the same script in my like code also for further automations. So I
Perfect.
tweaked that things also and learned how we can use these prompts and how efficiently we can get the data. Because over 100 of columns that has given to me, I need to give some Excel manipulations. So I have worked over those and the code and the things which I have learned from that, how to give the prompt so that we can get the desired results. That type of stuff I have been used over the last week in my organization. And, I have learned through the ChatGPT also.
Perfect. So you have now started to identify the use cases of actually using the uh,
Yes.
LLMs and the GPTs and the models, right? So this is a really
Yes,
great
I have
process.
just tried.
Yeah, this is really a great progress, Khushbu. So you were able to at least try out how to do the basics that we have covered across in our sessions earlier, and the things which you are doing now is actually a part of the uh, next steps that we will cover out, and you will get more confidence when we go deep into its session as well. Okay. Uh, Now, Sai, did you try anything out?
No, I just tried creating an agent for bulk upload, bulk PDF comparison only, where we need to generate the data and add to a table. And from that table, the Copilot Studio will upload to the SharePoint. So it's kind of a connection only I just created in
Oh.
my office environment, because that's one of the use case that manually we do every day, where
Mhm.
initially I was just working with one or two PDF files, right? So what I did right now, we got a access where we can upload place all the documents in a shared drive and link it, give that ID to the IT team, where they will connect and give us the API ID. So once they place the file in that share folder, it will get all the invoice IDs and then write it to the SharePoint list. So from there, the team will start progressing to their next step. So that kind of activity only I was trying out.
Perfect, Sai. That is also a great idea. You have
Yeah, we are
actually.
not able to see what they are doing, how that API got generated. But right now, I'm just consuming whatever the features that can be done from the office environment.
No worries. I'll walk you through how to create out those APIs today.
Yeah.
So they are using the APN OpenAI models, right?
Yeah, they're using OpenAI only. I
Perfect.
checked with them whether it's Gemini or what, because Gemini we can't do our normal word and all, right. So I just want to check with them. So they told we are using only OpenAI, and right now they're not giving access to the offshore. That's what they told us to create all these IDs.
Now the thing is, guys, you are actually on the right track. You guys have started to cover out couple of aspects of the generative AI. Okay. Now the things where I wanted to make you guys reach out was to understand how to identify the right use case, and how to start working into that environment, so that you can also identify these such use cases in your office environment as well. Now, guys, the next step over here is we will also learn how to create out the APIs first in the OpenAI playground, and then I will cover out how to connect out any documents, any such documents which you want to pass in directly into the LLM models. How can we pass those up, and how to do the next steps over there. So, quickly going into here, uh, into the OpenAI prompt engineering. Uh, like uh, this is the playground where we spend most of our time. Last week we covered across assistants and the prompts. Like we went over here, we went into the prompts, and we covered out the assistants as well, and then we covered out how to create out a chatbot solution also with the help of the same playground itself. Now, when we go across into this dashboard section, in the dashboard section at the bottom, you get an API key. Okay. Now, this API key is where you start to utilize your stuffs out. So, let's say if you click over here, you can create out your own key, and then you can also restrict out what sort of permission you want to give in over here. Okay. Now, this OpenAI key can be used for all the models. Okay, like your text generation, audio, chat compilation, image assistance, and threads and evals as well. So every aspect of these models and APIs have a certain thing and certain permissions to perform out. So audio features helps you out with the real-time streaming information. Embeddings helps you to create out some of the vector DB generations for your data, and all of those stuffs out. Okay, so this embedding is something that I'll also cover out today. Now, apart from this, once you select out, like you just want to give this as a read permission. Okay, and uh, then what you all do is, like, you just select out which all API permission you want to give, and just click over create, and this will create out the API for you. Okay, now these are the two. This is the first way of creating out the API in the OpenAI Playground Studio. Now, this thing helps you create out the API key. Okay, but how to consume data? So for consuming these APIs, this solution also works in the similar way, where you can create out a REST API calls and a Python SDK input as well. Now, in the Python import SDK, you will have to use the pip install Gen OpenAI, and there it was GenAI because it was connected across to the Google Clouds environment. Then from the OpenAI, you will have to import of your OpenAI key. Okay, and once you import of that OpenAI key, you can then pass on the API API key directly over here, and then once you provided the API key, this is a place where this is a function which helps to you to create out a chat which helps you to create out a chat conversation with the OpenAI models. Okay, Now, what I've done over here is I have selected out the client, then the chat, completions, and the create function. Okay. Now, what does this create thing do is it helps you to create a instance of your model where you can conversate to it, one over the other. Now, what things you do is you go into your model, you type in your model name, you type in your messages like the role and the developer, and you type in the content. You are the helpful assistant. Okay, this is basically you are giving yeah, OpenAI an understanding that you are a helpful assistant, and you are basically a chat solution, and you have to answer the questions which the user is asking. So now the user is asking out a question: what is the LLM offered by GPT? So once I click over, like I run the script, and I select out the most relevant output, it is able to give me the output in this structured format. But now let's see how the actual output looks like when we create the uh, output. Whenever you run your script, this script does not only perform the only does not only perform your compilation or conversation. This also gives you a lot of other things as well. That is very helpful for doing the follow-up steps after this. Now, once you see over here, it gives you a chat instance like your chat ID. It gives you the choices like what sort of output and where to stop out. It gives you the chat message as well, that the message which your model has generated out. That is something you get over here. And apart from that, you will also get out some more important things, that is your role, that is the assistant who is answering, and two important things that comes along with it, that is the function call and the tool calls. Okay, these two things are very important from the prompt engineering and the AI agents perspective. This is something we will go in detail to understand what these two things do for you, and how to function use those tools very like precisely, so that you can develop out some solutions around it. So once you get out these model outputs, you can just uh, use the result, and you can just ask it with the help of it, with the help of this compilation choose and the content. So this is basically a JSON that you are getting out, and you are also getting some of the other details around it, like what is the token size, what is the prompt size that you have done, what are the prompt tokens that you have passed out. All of those comes across along with this. Okay, now let's try to ask some other questions around it. Okay. Okay, now is this enough for it to answer the most relevant answers, or should we change some instructions for the prompt to do? Sai Khush, Khush, should we try to change it out, or this is enough?
I think it's enough.
Okay. But will it restrict to it this to a certain environment? Like if you want to restrict the LLM, will it restrict out in that case? When I say the restrictions, I mean like will it like only answer those questions for which it should be trained on, or it will answer all the questions, whichever
It
comes to it.
will answer all the questions
Correct.
because role is user.
Correct. Now, once you click over it, you can call that model out, and you can see the results over here. Okay, so this is the like a way you create an OpenAI integration with your solutions out. Okay, now what are the ways you can use this out, guys? Like you can use this to create out your chat assistant. Okay, So every questions that comes into this message content, you can just pass it out and then you can consume it out later on. Okay. And another good thing that you can do over here is, like, you can also create out a like a assistant that can solve a lot of other purposes for you. Okay. Now this is the integration for the OpenAI piece. Any questions in this, guys? Anything you want to ask around it, or shall we move ahead?
Arijit, how we can restrict the answers, like within this messages, we need to specify some type of restrictions, or we need to change some settings for this
So that is what
answer.
it comes out here. Okay. So you have your prompt or the system instruction. Okay. There you
Okay,
restrict it out. Okay. Now
okay,
let's restrict it out that only answer questions about OpenAI. Don't answer anything else, and give the uh, response as out of my context if it is any other topic. Okay. Now let's see if this gives you the right answer. No, let's see. Now it has restricted out. Okay.
yeah.
You can see out how you give the instructions to your prompt. That is the way it learns from, and then it gives you the response. So this content is nothing but just the a set of system instructions that you're giving to your model. Okay.
Okay. Okay. The It's like the first line you have written, like role developer contains your, this is our prompt, and in the second you are specifying as an example.
This is a question that we are passing to it. Okay. We can make it
Okay, okay.
variable. Okay. And you can just pass it as a variable also. Okay. So that you
Und-
can also like, this can be made as a dynamic variable. Okay. That makes sense.
Understood your point. That same we have done with Gen AI, how we have been passing our prompts and
Correct.
giving the
Correct.
understood.
Okay. So that same way you can give it out, and this will help you if you are creating out any chat assistants. You can just pass it over from here, and then you can consume it elsewhere as well. Okay. So this is the thing that should be used across when you are trying to use across your prompts into your day-to-day activities. Okay. So this will make it more dynamic, and you can consume it across in the later stages over there.
Okay.
Okay. So this way you configure your OpenAI schemas, and you also run across your schemas to generate out the answers. Okay. So there are some of other topics as well which are available in this slide. I will just mark it like these are the things you should learn first, and I will also show you uh, this collab as well. Okay. So this is the first thing when you come to OpenAI and you try to learn around how to integrate the OpenAI from the API perspective, and you can change out your models anything that you would like, and you can generate out the results from it. Okay. Now, when you are using these OpenAI Playground Assistant, okay, in the dashboard section, you are also getting couple of other features also. Now, let's say how the storage feature works over here. Okay, in this storage feature, what you do is you give it the files, and you try to use those files across into your uh, day-to-day activities. Now, can anybody tell me what does vector store means?
It is a data store where we can place our data or define a structure of data.
Uh, and how the structure looks like in this one, vector store?
Like key value pair.
No, that is a different thing. In the
Oh,
vector storage are basically the mathematical representation of your text in a
oh, okay.
it is a mathematical representation of the text that you want to feed it into your LLM model. Okay, now let's create out one test vector store. Okay, now let's add some files to it. I'm just adding up the files, and once you see and you create out an attach for this. Okay, that means your vector store has been created out, and this vector store has the file one which is available for him to use across. Okay, now how the vector store looks like, that is something I will also show you out. And you can also set in the expiry policy of this as well, like when do you want to utilize, when do you don't want to utilize, and how you want to connect out. And you can also give out which AI assistant that you have created out should utilize this storage for you. Okay, all of these are available. And first thing I'll show you across how to what is mathematical modeling or the embeddings that we are showing across here. What does that mean? Just a second, I'm opening the Colab. So in this demo, you will see how the text is actually presented out in a mathematical way around. Let's just give it a minute. Okay, till the time this model runs out, I also want to cover out some of the other features that are available over here. So you can also connect your assistant for which you want to utilize this thing, these data stores. And you can also see through it, like every data store or the vector store will have its own uh, model its own vector store ID as well. That is something you can consume it across in your OpenAI scripts. So you try it from your side if you're able to generate out those vector OpenAI scripts integration with these vector stores. Just in case you are not able to do, then we will I will cover that up as well. So try to use this ID which you create out and try to consume it across into your script. Then comes the utilization of your APIs. So keep being mindful of the solution that you are using across. So, these all APIs and costings that you are using will have some effect of it. Okay, so let's say you are covering out a total token services. What are the services you are using? API keys. How many chats were taken across? How the conversation was going across? All of those things are covered across in this usage section. Then comes the fine tuning piece. Okay, now fine tuning is another job in itself where you create out uh, a data set for your model that you just selected out, and you can give it some sort of a training data. Okay, now training data can be given out in only .j as json l format only. And once you give this data, you can also fine tune so that it learns from your results and starts to give you the desired results. Okay, so this is very helpful in those scenarios where you are covering a wider customer experiences, where you have a hundreds and 200s and 300 sort of a user base, and you are not sure across like which customer will ask you about which sort of questions. Okay, that is the place where you do your fine tuning. So fine tuning comes very handy over there in those cases. Then in the evaluation section, you can try to see how your results are working across. Okay, now let's try it with the chat compilation feature. Because this will also be not of use for you. And you can also do the batch processing of your data as well. Batch processing is something like if you are doing some promptings and you want to do a prompts on a very large data set of yours, and if you want to do that, you can also use this sort of a solutions over there. And this is very helpful from those cases and perspectives where your prompting needs are like you want to extract out a very huge data set, and you want to gonna use that across for your uh, like uh, like for some business use case across. Okay, now that script is ready, let me just show you about that. Okay. Now, when you give out this thing over to this, okay, this is an example for text embedding. Okay. I have asked it to create out a text embedding first. Now, let's say how the embedding looks like first. Okay. Do you see this? Like whenever you are doing any text, uh, representation, the actual way the model is trying to understand is in this format. Okay, so any LLM model that you use today has a text embedding enabled for it. Okay, so we have given this text. Okay, now I will try to change this text, and then we will see the results. Now you can see that this was the text that we gave, and how many dimensional space it created out. And I will then run it again, and you can see the results have also changed across. Okay, now this has also changed across. Now you can see each model will have a certain level of a embeddings that are available, and each text will have its own mathematical representation in a space of like 1 comma 768 dimensions, that is based on the model that you're trying to use across. Some will have some different dimensions, some will have some different dimensions. Okay, now these dimension actually gives an idea like how your vector embedding is looking like. Okay, now this embeddings, whichever you are seeing over here, these mathematical models are the ones that are getting stored into your context, or it is the thing that gets stored into your vector dbs. Okay, so in vector dbs you will have your context like this context, and then you will have the section with its embeddings in it. Okay, so these are the two things you see across in the vector dbs, and these are the two important things that covers the part of the llm's understanding as well. Okay, any questions in the embedding piece, guys? Anything you want to ask around it?
Abhijit, what is the significance of learning this text to embed or vector spaces?
Yeah, so this is useful is because when we are going into the more advanced topics of RAG, okay, that is something where you will understand out how why this is important.
Okay.
Will this have any impact with the tokens? Because we get, well, a particular model will use only this much tokens, right? So if you are uploading a huge PDF, then will this have any impact? Because it's getting converted into numerical format and all, right?
So this is what I'm trying to, I'll explain you about why this is important. Okay, let's say you are not trying to use out any LLMs, your, you are not using any LLMs, you are not using uh, like a OpenAI or a GPT or any of the models you are not using out. Okay, but you want that कि I have my own model, and that model should perform all the things for me, and that is where this RAG solutions come into picture, where you want to restrict your set of information for the LLMs to understand across. Now these understanding by which it is able to learn and give you the responses, that is the embedding piece. So what it actually does is it is the backbone of restricting your model to a certain level of information without passing it across to like it's a way of restricting your LLM models to a certain level of information. Okay, so whatever you are able to see when we are giving the instructions, when we are restricting our models, it is the same thing that runs at its backend. Okay, so this is what it does across. uh, Sai, does it solve answer your query?
Maybe once I start working, right, it will be very comfortable, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, no worries. I will cover that out, and then you will see why it is important for you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, got it. Okay, then the last part over here is the batches that we do. Okay, evaluation, fine tuning, storage, usage, and the API keys. Okay, so this is what the Google, this Open AI Playground Studio has to offer for you. Okay, so you can try different use cases with the help of these documents and its sections, and then we will go into the next piece of it. Now, coming on to the aspect of how to use out different documents and how to pass them dynamically into your RPA solutions. Okay, that is what we will discuss now. So, in order to integrate any document with your RPA solutions, you have to be mindful of one thing, okay? That your data, whichever you want to pass it into your model, it should be having the capability, like the model which you're trying to integrate, it should be having a feature to convert that PDF text into a base 64. Okay, so if you are using UiPath, if you are using uh, like Automation Anywhere, and if you are using any other sort of a tool, those all tools come up with a feature that you can convert your text into a base 64 format. And this is the way you can pass your uh, like data into the RPA as well. Okay, so once you pick your data using any activity inside the RPA tool, that is something some sort of this way, then you pass it into an activity to convert this PDF text, like a plain text, into the base 64, and then you pass it into your prompts, and you can see and you can generate out your results over there. Okay, so first, the basic idea of this is you have to convert the text into base 64. Any questions around this, like why do, like what is base 64 or something of that sort? Do you guys
Just
understand what
one
is?
thing. I
Sorry.
just wanted to know, I just wanted to know what is base 64 like, it's a format conversion of text to some other
Correct.
It's
decoding.
binary
It
data.
means like coding
Yes.
format.
And
Okay.
testing the data, I will just encode it up, and you will see that your data is looking somewhat like this after encoding.
Okay.
Okay. Now,
Understood.
I'll just ask it any other question. I am writing the data for understanding the concept. Okay, you create it out, you encode it out, you see that it is also creating the coding for each of the text you are passing into it. Okay, so this is the first thing that you should look into while integration of your documents into the RPA tools.
So
Okay.
how we'll know by looking at the document actually? Because till now, whatever the automations we have done, we just place the PDF file and we apply the connection, extract data, and we proceed. This is the first time I'm seeing this. So maybe the software that we are using, UiPath or Automation Anywhere, will do this in the back end, or we need to do the validation check.
So till now in the UI part, you what you were doing, you were just passing out your prompts directly, and you were asking the questions to LLM, but you were not passing in your documents, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Now this is the way you can pass your own documents as well into the prompts. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so let's think from this perspective. You are using an RPA tool, and you need something to understand, like how to pass in the document uh, into the tool itself. For doing those integration, this is very critical for you. Okay,
Okay.
this will reduce all your time of doing all the things around, like when you say around ingesting your data into the into this tool or all of those sorts. All of this is being handled with this. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, okay, now once you convert this into a base 64 format, then you can connect it out with the help of your LLM prompts, and then you can generate out the results. Okay. Now let's do and see the action, this in action as well. Okay. Now I have created out a Colab script for this. Okay. You have the base 64, you have the base 64 and the request imported. I have then passed in I have uploaded a Google Gemini 2.0 document, and we let me open that up as well so that we can see how it is working out, how our model is resulting out.
Rishi, sorry to interrupt in between. Is this base 64 applicable to only PDF documents, or we can
You
use
can
it
convert
to
any
other
text
documents?
into any format. You can convert any text into this format. Okay. Now, this is the document that I'm going to pass it over here. Okay. Now, I have couple of questions that I want to ask from it. Okay. Uh, let's see how the result is coming out for this. Okay. I will ask that for the general capabilities, how is the Gemini 2.0 Flash performing? Okay, let's see its result. Okay, what I've done over here is first piece I have converted the data into a base 64. That means all the text that I've provided out is converted into the base 64 format. And once you run it out, you can see how the results are coming across. Like it will come in that format only that we discussed across in the format of the text, like a encoding format. And then when you give out your API request, okay, that means API request. What I'm trying to do over here is trying to connect the Gemini 1.5 Flash model. Okay, I am giving in the API key. Okay, and then I am also passing in the body of my API request itself, that is base 64 format, virtual data I want to fetch the information from. Okay, and I have given it a question like, can you tell me the percentage of natural to code for Gemini 2 experimental model? Okay, and the other thing that I've given over here is what is the content type. Application.json is my content type. Okay, now when I run, and I'll see that it will give me the results out. Okay, so the result that has been provided to me is for like that it is giving me 92.9%. Okay, now let's see over here what does this mean. So code natural to code, and it is giving me around the 92.9%. Okay, now let's ask something, a simple question to it. Okay, let's ask who is the author of this model, author of this page. Okay, so you can see it has identified the author is Demis Harry, CEO of Google DeepMind, then CTO of Google DeepMind, and Sundar Pichai is also the author. Okay, now you can see over here that it was able to extract exactly in the order from where the document we have provided out. Okay, now what we can do is let's try to ask a question other than what is not available in this document. Okay, so guys, any guesses that will it answer the question or will it not?
It will not answer anything because we have used the document itself.
Correct. Correct. So that is the exactly the way I wanted you guys to understand. Okay. Now there is another thing that I would cover across is, can you, we'll go again over here and we will see how the data is generated across. We'll just see the response JSON. Okay, so the response is something very similar to what we have seen earlier. Okay, upon along with that, it has the token count. Okay, and it has also given all the modality and everything, that is the document and all that, but that is not of your concern over here. And it has also given out the response id. Okay, and in this section it's not connecting out any tools or any function calling is not seen over here. Okay, what does this mean is it is only restricting the responses relevant to the document that you have provided across. Okay, so this is the way you connect your documents directly with the LLMs without inside of your tool itself and inside of your RPA tool itself. Okay, so this is the thing that you should experiment with. I'll share you this Colab as well, and try to play around with it and try to see many different type of meme types. Okay, try to change your meme type and then try to see how the results are coming across. Let me just show you what all meme type models Gemini model supports out.
This can be done across even OpenAI, everything, right?
Yes, you can try it with your OpenAI model as well. Okay, just understand that when you're trying to use that OpenAI, your JSON body schema might be different over there. Okay, but I'll provide you that as well, so that you can, when you're trying to experiment it out, you can try it with both the models. Okay,
Oh,
perfect. Okay. Okay, just try it out. Check out which meme type you want to try out. Mm, And as long as your model and your RPA tool that you're trying to integrate is having the capabilities to extract out the information from that document. Okay, so when we talk of any of the RPA tool, UiPath, Automation Anywhere, Blue Prism, and all the Pega systems. Okay, they have the capabilities to extract out those information in the textual format. Okay, and then this text can be utilized in any way inside your prompt itself. Okay, now why we are converting it into base 64 code is like it also helps you with the encryption methodology as well, so that your data which you're providing in is goes utilized in an encrypted format rather than in a plain text format, so that only a model is able to understand, and lies a certain level of security on top of your data set that you're trying to use across. Okay, so these are the things about the OpenAI models, playground, and all the stuffs around the Chat GPT and integration of it with the documents itself. Okay, now the next piece of the important functions over here is like to understand how the function calling features does. Okay, now you are writing functions inside your any of the scripts you use. Okay, so which scripting language you know guys, Sai and Khushbu?
VBA,
Sorry,
VBA, macros.
VBA. Okay, and Sai, you?
randomly, I used to do Arjit maximum I Google and get it done.
Okay, no, but you would use any scripting language, or you would use any language, right? Which was
Yeah,
that
usually
language?
VB.NET only I used to do.
Sorry,
VB, VB.NET.
VB.NET. Okay, perfect. Now, let's think from this perspective. You're always creating out a functions inside that, right? You
Yeah.
create functions. Okay, just like those functions in your language, scripting language, there are some functions which these generative AI models also support across. Okay, so those models that are being supported with these like those models which are solving the purpose of connecting out to the LLMs are known as function calling. Okay, Now, what does that function calling feature actually does is that function calling helps you to decide out like at a certain point of time if I have multiple tools to connect to, that means you have a different sort of data retrievals. Let's say you are extracting information from a document today. Okay, now you want to decide out that I also want that I should extract out some information from the website also. Okay, so in that case, when you are trying to comply to that and you want that it should only answer those questions, and it should also have a switch between it, and it should be able to decide it automatically by itself that whether I have to call the use it, whether I have to extract the information from the document or whether I have to extract out the information from the website. Okay, and if that LLM is able to decide it by its own, that is the capability known as function calling. Okay, now where have you seen this function calling features, abhi tak?
While trying out the prompts, it shows the source, right? In the
Sorry.
bottom. While giving prompts in ChatGPT or Gemini, in the bottom we see from which source we are getting this data. Something
Correct.
similar.
HTTP servers, the
Correct.
things like
So
when
you
we look.
see in the Google AI Studio, you see over here, like where you can create out an edit function. Okay.
Yeah.
And in the OpenAI Studio, you go into this playground and you click over here, and just a second, you can create out your function with here. Okay. So these are the two important things that we will cover across in the next section. Okay, but before that I want that you should try to experiment out with these two things. One is the OpenAI integration, and the second thing is to pass the any document type and pass it into the model and try to see how you are extracting out this information. And if you can try it out with any RPA tool, that will be good enough. Okay.
Arishit, I have one question, like how we can try it with our like RP tool, like via API we have generated just before the same in the same manner we can do that.
Sorry, I didn't get you. Kush.
And I'm just asking that how we can integrate our like document type module into our RPA tool with
Okay.
the same API calling, or like what else we need to do
With
that.
the same API call, I would suggest you go with the API call. That makes it very easy for you. Okay. All the RPA tools support out the REST API calls for you.
Yeah,
Okay.
Archit, so right now you're creating the API call from Gemini, right? So in Gemini, we are uploading the document and we are creating the API call. My understanding is correct. So from that document only, we'll be able to get send the prompt and get the data.
Correct.
But in the real time, if we want to upload one document and do it while running the bot, is that possible?
So let's say when you are doing it in a real time, in your real time scenario, what all things will change?
The source document will change.
Correct. And what else will change?
Whatever the system
API.
information is going to be the same.
Correct. That system information will change, but your source document will change, only change. Okay.
Yeah.
Like system instruction will remain same, but your source document will change. Okay. Let's think from this perspective. We are using a REST API call. Okay. Now, in this REST API call, what you are doing across here is you are converting your text into a base 64 code. Okay. And then you are passing it across over here. Okay. Now let's think from this perspective. Your data can be anything. Okay. Once your prompt is working as desired, what you are trying to ask for it, and it is able to answer it out, no discussion around the document sources. Okay, your sources can be anything. You can convert it into a text and then convert it into a base 64 and pass it into your document over here. The thing I'm trying to tell you across over why this is important is because these things are this becomes a dynamic in nature, first thing. Second thing it does is it's also able to integrate lot of things together into a single base source of code for you. Okay. Now, even if your source files changes, anything of that sort changes across, then this request will remain the same, but your answer or your analysis can change across. Okay. And you can
Okay.
change your prompts together and you can see the results over there. That makes sense,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like it's kind of automation itself. Like we can change the document type and other types text as
Correct.
well. But the base is same for everything. Once we embed this into our RP tool, this will be one for all.
Correct.
That's it.
Yeah. One for all. That is the going to be. And I would also like you guys to do one more thing. There is a meme type over here. Okay. This meme
Hmm.
type will change for document to document or different formats if you are passing over here. Okay. Just try to play around with it. Okay. And see how the result changes and whether you are able to work it across with the other document types or not. Okay.
Okay.
Just play around with this meme type. Okay. Now,
Okay, Ankit, I will try.
uh, great question. And now, guys, any questions in today's lecture that I have covered across? Because I cover only small topics so that you get a reasonable amount of information and you can practice it across. So, anything that comes to your mind for the today's course?
No worries. As of now, no, it's like try this stuff. I'm sure I will come with certain questions with you by tomorrow.
Perfect. Yeah, just try it across. Okay. And
Okay.
then we will take it up from there. Okay.
Okay.
And
Okay.
tomorrow I will also cover across how you can give out different parameters in your APIs Excel form. Okay, let's say you have a temperature, let's say you have a top K, you have a top P. Everything that you want to cover is all available within the same request bodies that you are trying to send across. Okay, so that will be the second thing we will learn tomorrow, and we will also dig deep into some of the important topics of tools and the functionalities. Okay, and the function calls. Those will be the most important features that will be coming forward, going forward, that will be used across into your AI agents as well. Okay, so just be conversant that those two things are very important for you to learn across, so that next steps can be very easy for you in creating out AI agents.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, guys. So this was the topic that I wanted to check across over here, and then